I need those Mavericks to just take it easy with Cooper Flagg. There's just no reason to push it down the stretch here, okay?
I did join you yesterday. I threw away my winning on both sides proposition, and now I'm just all in on Con. It's really starting to kind of separate in terms of just them being out there. And I do think there's a situation coming very soon where it's like if Knipple hits minus 250 or something, I don't know if they're looking at the betting odds per se, but like, do they sit Flagg at some point and just say, he's not going to win. Sorry, we did this to you, but yeah, we got to pull you out.
I mean, yeah, you and I've talked about it a lot. I think they've already kind of put themselves in that spot. So, yeah, I feel like I'm just waiting for any day now for them to be like,
Yeah.
oh, he tweaked his foot, shut him down. It's
Yeah.
not that I think that's what they should do, but they already kind of screwed this up. I think the train's left the station. I think we're winning Con Knipple bets, and I cannot believe that the Mavericks did really kind of tank away this Rookie of the Year award. That's what it's feeling like, Zach. I think it's interesting you bring up the betting odds because I think every year that we go on, I don't care if we're talking NFL, NBA, any sport, it fascinates me more every season whether or not some of these betting odds do influence voters, and more and more voters have start to look at betting odds and check on them. I think that there's curiosity for me of how much that is done. There's also a world though where these betting odds are not reflective at all, really, or very closely of what voters are thinking, right?
Yeah.
It is still it's a voted on award. This is nothing that happens on a court. This is so subjective at the end of the day. Sports books, prediction markets, whatever, you're balancing money that's coming in on either side. It's completely different practice of actually trying to predict what the odds are of one of these guys winning. So I've been nervous. I'll tell you, Zach, I've been nervous that since Flagg has come back, we really haven't seen much movement in those. It's been a slight tick down with Flagg. I really thought as soon as he got ruled back in, especially with as much runway that there was left, that I thought that was going to go back to, I thought it was going to go to even money, immediately on both of them. So the fact that he's still hanging out there kind of plus 140, plus 150 range, I'm kind of has me scratching my head a little bit and making me a little nervous. But again, I just keep trying to tell myself that this doesn't necessarily mean absolutely anything.
Yeah, I don't think it does. And honestly, I still think that there's a lot of value on Knipple at minus 170 at FanDuel, just because I laid out the case yesterday. And once I really started thinking about it, because it took a lot for me to get off a position where I would have won 4 units if Flagg won, or I would have won 3.5 if Knipple, something like that. That's the perfect situation that you set up for yourself and you don't worry about it again. But once I really dug into it, it's the traditional stats are pretty much a wash. Percentages favor Knipple. So in terms of just very basic basketball thinking, they've been the same, but then Knipple's leading the league in threes. He's playing for a winning team. And then it's the advanced stuff where it's all right, Knipple's been way better than Flagg this season. So I don't really know the argument for Flagg anymore outside of the fact that for 3 weeks, he looked like an actual all-star, but
Right.
that was just 3 weeks. It wasn't I don't disagree at all that Flagg is the best rookie in the league and that he's going to be the best player of this group. But Knipple has been the best rookie this season, and that's what the award is for. So I really do think that he's going to win.
Well said, Zach Cohen. I hope that everybody votes that way because I'm just a little scared that there are going to be voters that vote the first part of your sentence, right? It's well, I can see he's the best player in the class, so let me just give him the award. And it's his counting stats are still good. I don't want to take anything away from Cooper Flagg. What he's done a pretty damn good job this year. I don't know about you, especially when they were doing the whole, hey, we're going to roll him out at point guard to start this. I was this could be a disaster. And he's played pretty well throughout all of that this season until he got caught by the injury bug. But I'm with you. As time's gone on, the counting stats have caught up for Con, and he's right there. And I think what's going to push him over the edge, Zach, is the 3-point I mean, just records, stats, the
Yeah.
numbers that he's putting up in comparison to not only what past rookies have done, but what others in the league are currently doing. The fact that he's in the conversation really with anybody shooting threes in the NBA right now, I think that's the singular thing that gets us over the edge here. I, I I say that because I do think the winning part is a factor too. I think others will factor that in. But I think we all should keep in mind that that really has never impacted Rookie of the Year before, whether you were on a winning team or not. So I think there's a lot of people that it may be right, and probably rightfully so, will throw that out when they're really considering these two. But man, I think those 3-point numbers and where he's really gotten at in the season is what's going to push us over the edge.
Yeah, being number 1 in the NBA in three-point makes in a league where the three is this valuable and, like, just such a big talking point in terms of, like, oh, modern NBA, like,
Right.
Steph Curry changed the game. Like, the fact that it's a rookie leading everybody, it definitely means something. So, yeah, I agree, like, Flagg for, quite a while looked like the best rookie, and I do think that he's, like, an absolute star in the future. Like, we're talking about a really special player and the definite face of that franchise moving forward, but he hasn't been the same since he came back, and yeah, I do think it's going to be a situation where like it's taken out of his hands a little bit because look, even in the game the other night where he played at home in Boston, he's sprained his ankle, and I was like, oh god, like do you really want this guy to hurt
Right.
himself? And then like you ruin even the idea of having him and Kyrie back next year because this team, I still think they can be pretty good next year when they all come back and they have Derek Lively back eventually. I don't know if that's going to work out, but like this team has some talent on paper and way more avenues to get better than people think. So I would not be messing with any of next season just for this one. I do think like, yeah, he might have said he wants it, but it's just not that important.
Don't disagree. I mean, look, you and I were. You're the one I keep quoting saying this because you were the first one to say it as plainly as this, and it was so perfectly said. It was just what? Why? Well, I don't know why any of this happened in the first place, and I still feel like I need to know more injury details with Cooper Flagg because I don't get why he was on the bench in the first place. I wasn't
Yeah.
planning on betting as much on Concadipple as I was, but he was hurt with this foot that we haven't heard a ton about. Um, but you put him on ice for all these games, and you always said it. You were losing fine with Cooper Flagg out on the court.
Yeah.
You didn't need to put him on ice to lose games. So it's all a little bizarre to me. But I think at this point in the season, you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't want to compare it to Wembanyama because he's in a playoff race, but like this is as soon as he tweaks anything, I would think he's shut him down for the rest of the year. What is the worth risking this heading into next season? Where I agree with you, they've got some talent that they can put together on this team. So I think between the 3-point shooting on and that there's a very good chance that yes, Flagg gets shut down here at some point. I I should probably actually. I've been thinking this the whole time as we've been having this conversation. I should make my feelings clear on the current price. If you can't tell, I have a lot of Con Knipple already, so I'm not looking to add on. But you said is that yeah, I think there's value in this current number on Con still. I don't. Again, I thought it was going to get tighter when Flagg came back. Kind of respect for some of the guys out there that are clearly still making a case for Con at price. And yeah, I think there's probably still a little value on that.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it at like minus 167 yesterday. It's minus 170 today at a more prominent book that I took. It was Bet Rivers yesterday. It's FanDuel today. So I really do think that there's definitely some value in jumping in on it. I guess before I get you out here, though, I wanted to ask any other awards markets that you're looking at right now. I do think
Ooh.
that most improved player has gotten pretty interesting. My RIP to my Keontae George tickets as of last night. I think he's going to be out 3 weeks, so he's not going to reach the game limit. But yeah, I still think it's somewhat open. I don't know for sure, but I'll probably be diving back in there. And I am going to start looking a little bit closer at six man of the year because I feel like seeing Naz Reid as the favorite, and Naz Reid is having a better season this year than he had when he won it last time. But the more the Timberwolves kind of struggle and the more options there are out there, wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody a little bit further down the board. So those were the two that kind of caught my eye.
Okay, so first of all, I'm glad you went to both of those. Okay, yeah, MVP. Are we giving it to SGA? I think it's probably
Yeah,
like I think it's 90% SGA home at this point.
I think if SGA is healthy, he's going to win. I don't think it should be this way, but I do think like hitting a game winner over Jokic is something that like voters can't get their minds over. And it's like, I just think that that's going to be it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So there's the rest we can go through. Coach of the year, you and I have talked about. But yeah, okay. Most improved in six man, I'm with you. These are probably the two that I'm most interested in. As you know, most improved player has been by far my best uh award betting in any sport over the years. It has been most improved player in the NBA. I have not made a single bet in this market this entire season, Zach. I've been waiting at different times, thought Denny was going to be a great bet at different points, didn't get in on him. Then he's been gotten up against the injury limit and the max games missed. I don't really think you can mess around with him right now. I think it's one more he can miss, maybe two off the top of my head. I'll have to double check that. It's something tight though. And with this back still lingering with him, I don't really think you can count on him being in there. So, okay, take Denny out of there. To me, it's down to Duren and Johnson. Maybe he just got too much love too early in the season, Zach. I still don't understand why this isn't Jalen Johnson though over Jalen Duren. It's just the big leaps statistically across the board after what he did a year ago, and then the assists going up like almost three full assists I think per game this year for him most improved player. Like that is massive. Yeah, up to 8.2 assists per game from 5 last year's where he's at. That leap is monster to me. I I think there's a really good chance Jalen Duren's going to win this award because voters feel like they need to get an award to a Pistons member. I have a problem with the most improved player case, though, Zach, that goes like, hey, you had a pretty good year. Then you had a down year, and now you had a good year. We want to give you most improved player. And like
Yeah.
that's the part nobody talks about with Duren. Like a couple years ago, he had a good season. It's not what it was this year. I'm not saying that, but maybe it's just me, and I do get picky when it comes to this award. But I like to see like the steady increase in play over the years, and it's just when you're coming off of a bad year, that always makes it a little bit of a flaky case to me.
Yeah, I agree. And Jalen Johnson's a player that I've gotten on this season because at times he was just awful defensively. But over the last like 10 games or so, has definitely picked it up. And yeah, if I'm choosing between the two, I'd rather the plus money odds on Johnson. So I'm with you there. I think that might be where the value is. And sixth man of the year, it's just a big jumble of guys that like they all maybe are kind of deserving. I don't think
Yeah.
any of them really stand out that much to me. But I do kind of look at it and think like Keldon Johnson might be the guy because maybe the Spurs are a team also that you're looking to give some love to, and he has been good this season.
So I've at times have gotten close to betting him. The other one though, I kind of dove into this a few days ago into all these cases, and I'm like, is this the example of we just get to the end and it's just the guy who's scoring the most points per game for his team here? And I think that's Jaime Jaquez Jr. right now. He's like at 15 points per game. So I'm like, if he was currently at a longer number, 4-1, I'm looking at DraftKings shop around, obviously. I think if he was something like 7-8-1 range, which he just was like a week ago, I think I might grab a little bit, but man, it's a mess. I think I don't know if there's not a clear cut winner to me out there, Zach. There's a lot of like pretty well deserving cases. You know what I mean? So good luck with voters figuring that out. So I do think there is a chance. I think there's a chance we see one of the basics happen, right? Oh, Naz Reid. We know he's a good bench player. Let's give it to Naz Reid. He's got good stats. Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s just got the most points per game of this group. Let's give it to him. Or you look for a team rewarded story, right? Like Keldon Johnson with the Spurs. Look, they've all had good seasons. I'm just giving you reasons of why they could go the way they go. I think it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm kind of glad I don't have a single dollar invested in it, though, right now. That's actually not true. I bet Bobby Portis at the beginning of the season. That's not right.
Hey, he's on the board. He's the last player I'm seeing on the DraftKings board, but he's on there. But yeah, I agree. I don't have anything in this market. I might look to get involved, though. I agree with you, though, that it might be simplified down to like this guy's playing well on a good team or this guy's scoring a lot. So yeah, I think that there is some value here, though, because I do think that like there's a chance it could be one of these guys from 8-1 to like 20-1. It really wouldn't surprise me.
Sure. I wouldn't be shocked if Tim Hardaway Jr. won it.
That's where I was bet to 20-1.
Yeah, like I would be shocked at that. And then you're talking about like 7 guys being involved.